Welcome back to the Coach Mac Show. Big win Friday night versus Wilcox County Patriots. Big region win. You couldn't have written a script any better for the first 3 minutes of that ball game. Devin Jones returning pick six. So it looked like they were trying to throw a screen pass. He stepped in, took off. We have a highlight of that as well. Yeah,
it was a great start, fast start, and we've talked about that throughout the year that we need to get off to fast starts. That just helps our momentum, helps just get you where you really want to be. With our inexperience and some of our youth, the last thing we want to do is play from behind.
Yeah.
So getting off to the fast start, like the pick, like you said, by Devin, turned into a touchdown, went out real quick, lined up for a two-point conversion, got it with Tyree Savage run the ball across the goal line, and then turn around a good kickoff coverage, and then all of a sudden a play or two, I believe, they fumbled a snap. We got right back on it and went down and scored again and missed the two-point conversion. Was hoping to go up 16-0, but went up 14-0, and then I think everybody kind of settled down from there, and then of course pulling the thing off at the end with the last 5 seconds to go, I believe, in the game.
It was an exciting ball game.
Them throwing into the end zone, us having to defend the end zone, and to win the game 32-26.
You could not have written a script like it had a Hail Mary at halftime, which they got.
Yeah.
Brought the game within one, and then kind of first and second quarters back and forth after the initial 14 points, and then going into the second half, defense has kind of stiffened up a little bit in the third.
Yeah, it was as a game, if you looked at the stats of the game, you'd never thought that we won the football game. Really, I mean they were. Wilcox has tremendous athletes. I mean, just fantastic athletes. They have a 6'5" wide receiver, 6'5" tight end, 6'3" quarterback that is just one of those Champ Bailey kind of athletes that just makes you miss. He's really playing on another level. We were just, the reason for our victory. I wrote down some keys to victory for us. The keys to our victory was really our offensive line play and our running back play on the offensive side of the ball. We only had 4 catches, but all of them were very, very timely catches.
Key moments.
Very key moments. I thought our defensive line played well, even though you may not think that in that style of offense they did, but they continued to make Grace, their quarterback, continually leave the pocket. He never really got a chance to be comfortable and just throw the ball the way he wanted. And of course,
he was running the entire game.
Yeah, we had him going the entire game, like you said. And it really comes down to we won because of great effort, great work ethic, big hearts, and some character, I thought. I told our players at halftime, I said, I think heart and character needs to count for something. And I think at the end of this game, I think we'll look back and say that was a big key for us as football players and as a football team. But, we gave up 407 yards. We gave up 4 passing touchdowns. We gave up, just in the air, we gave up, I think they had 244 yards passing. They threw the ball 35 times, but we did have 2 interceptions, one of them for a touchdown. A big key for us was Trey Harrington punting the football.
He had some huge punts.
Really did. He had 4 punts for an average of 41.5 yards. He punted for 166 yards. It seemed like every time he punted the ball, it was inside the 5-yard line. We pinned him, gave him a long way to go. One time we pinned him all the way down inside the 1, gave him a whole field to go. Another big key to victory was they had 17 penalties for 100.
A lot of motion penalties.
A lot of illegal procedure penalties. That was really huge for us. It kept pushing them back. We had 6 penalties ourselves, but nothing compared to the 17 they had. And you joke about, you talk about home cooking when it comes to officiating. This wasn't. I mean, you could see it on film. That obviously they were a lot in some disarray. They weren't able to get the snap off on time. Different things. The illegal procedure was most of them. But as far as we're concerned, our offensive line had their best game of the year. Tyree Savage had 23 carries for 140 yards, 2 touchdowns. That's 6.1 average. Tyree really stepped up his game, ran for some really, really tough yards. Really, really pleased with the job he did. On the defensive side of the ball, Devin Jones, as a defensive back, had 6 tackles, led our team in tackles, and Brent Wiles, an inside linebacker, had 4.5 tackles. Quarterback sack, we had a lot of pressure, but Zach Davis had the only sack. We talked about 2 interceptions. Devin Jones, Jonathan West had a big one towards the second half of the game. Really needed. We had T.J. Wilson had a fumble recovery, and freshman Toby Dasher blocked an extra point. So all those things mixed in, and just like we said, tremendous effort on our part, gave us a victory, and we needed every second of the game because, like I said, they threw into the end zone, I believe, 3 times at the end of the game. Last one with 5 seconds to go, and we batted all of them down.
I thought we had 1 pick.
That would have been great. That would have put it into everything. But again, it came down 4th down, 4th and goal. They threw it into the end zone. We were able to defend it. I believe we had 5 seconds to go in the game. All we had to do was go out and take a knee, and game was over. It was an incredible win. It was a very emotional win for us. You look, if you've been following Charlton County football this year and really seen some of the real growing pains we've had, some of the struggles we've had, and some of the real naysayers it seemed like came out this year hard on us, what's wrong with Charlton County football and what's wrong with the coaching staff and the players and all this and that. Well, there's reasons for our struggles early on. One of them was scheduling.
Yeah.
We had a tough scheduling. And the other thing is we had a lot of inexperienced players and playing some playing some young kids and very inexperienced kids. So
well, you said that our first episode, you brought that up, that almost 50% of the roster
weren't even playing varsity football
right.
last year, one way or another. Either they were junior high or they just weren't on the football team last year. And I believe that we're getting better. I think we're taking strides in the right direction. We've put ourselves in a great situation, knocking off, I think, number 1, number 2 team in the state, and by far people thought was going to be the region champions. And, of course, they still could be. And the big thing today, Monday, first day of practice, was trying to get our kids back grounded. The thing I told them.
Back down to earth a little bit.
Really, and the thing I told them is when people come up to you and they still want to talk about the Wilcox game, I told them, I said, be polite about it, but tell them we got to move on. It's all about Turner County right now. Yeah. Everything we do, our entire program, our entire season comes down to Turner County this week. Turner County's 4-1. I know we'll talk more about them maybe in the next segment, but our kids have got to realize that we're in great position. We're in a great situation right now. We're in control of our own destiny. We have some big games at home. This big one here's on the road. But we have Clinch County at home. We have Irwin County, who I think is a real dark horse in this thing. We have them at home at the last game of the season. So we have a nice home schedule coming up. And but we really need to focus on Turner County.
Yeah. I know later on, you mentioned Irwin. 2 weeks ago, I understand they had a huge upset, so we can't take Irwin lightly down the road.
We're not good enough to take anybody lightly. We just can't. We're not that kind of football team. Yeah. We had a great win. It was a great night. We had great effort. Things fell our way. I don't know if I've seen things quite go this way for us.
It was something.
In my whole 23 years as a head football coach here, and it just seemed like every break went our way, just about. Although there was a few that didn't. The Hail Mary pass we talked about. Yeah. Their first touchdown where Grace, their quarterback, just ran all over the field. Our coverage that we kept telling our players all week long, it don't matter. As long as he's behind the line of scrimmage, it don't matter how deep down the field you are, stay into coverage because he can throw it, and he sure did. Threw it all the way across the field, half the length of the field, and completed the pass for the first touchdowns. But we had a lot of things go our way, and it was a great win, but still it's a win that doesn't make or break our season. It puts you in a good position, but it doesn't guarantee anything. It doesn't guarantee a region championship. It doesn't guarantee any more wins. I guess you could almost say the only thing it does guarantee is that at least we'll go 3-7, because that's our third win, and we have 5 more to go. So we have a lot of work still. We had a good day today in the weight room, had a good film session, had a good practice. We need a good Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and a good trip over, and we need to start off fast over in Ashburn.
All right. Well, on that note, Coach, we'll take a short break, and we'll be right back after these messages.
The Folkestone Pharmacy, your original hometown pharmacy for over 45 years, is located at 3885 Main Street. At Folkestone Pharmacy, we accept most major insurance coverage, including AARP, WellCare, Medicaid, Amerigroup, and many more. We also have a $1 value aisle for everyday items such as health and beauty, cleaning, and even snacks. Stop by and check us out today. Now, let's go get 'em Indians. United First Federal Credit Union has been a part of Charlton County since 2001 and has been providing great service to our members since 1943. United First now offers mobile banking and email alerts. Mobile banking lets you check your balance from your cell phone, while email alerts notifies you when a significant event happens in your account. Both are easy to set up and are free to United First members. United First helps you afford life. All accounts are federally insured by NCUA.
TNT Building Supplies located about a half-mile past US 1 and the 301 split, north of Folkestone, right next to Taylor Timber Company. They have everything you need for your home improvement projects, with a wide selection of lumber, hardware, millwork, plumbing, and electrical supplies, concrete and masonry, power and hand tools, nails, and roofing supplies. They also have a large selection of mobile home hardware. TNT Building Supply is a proud sponsor of Charlton Sportsnet. All right, we're back on the Coach Mac Show talking about the Wilcox game with the upcoming Turner contest. Coach, I spoke to you a little bit off camera about the end of the game. I mean, our clicks were going through the roof at the end of the game. Word must have been spreading like wildfire on the internet. Glenn Hughes told me we had the link to the site on 2 other sites by the 4th quarter, so it was picking up. But at the end of the ball game, I spoke to you off camera a little bit about it. Were you a little surprised with the success Michael Grace, the Wilcox quarterback, running the ball, that they didn't try to run him there in one of those last 4 downs?
Yeah, I think they got into a little bit of a bind with the timeout situation. I don't think they had any timeouts left, or maybe only one. I wasn't sure. But, yeah, the thing when you take a chance by running your quarterback like that is getting him stuck in the middle of the field with the clock running with no timeouts. But I thought that, I tell you, they did a lot of things. Given them having 407 yards of offense, they could have went down the field, him run the ball. I agree with you. I guess I'd rather have him throwing it, to be honest with you.
I'm thankful that's what he did.
I wouldn't know what I'd rather have. I mean, it's been a long time since we've ever had any athletes like him and the receivers they had. But I'm not sure what I would have done. But them throwing the ball into the end zone, that was scary enough. But, yeah, that quarterback could have pulled it down. Grace could have pulled it down and probably went on in himself, possibly. I don't know. They're a well-coached team. They did a lot of things in their scheme that we noticed that they found some places that we had to sacrifice for coverage and was able to make some things work. But like you said, they probably could have ran Grace maybe there at the end for the touchdown. But they had a lot of success throwing the football also. 4 touchdown passes. 244 yards passing, so they had some options, and I'm just so glad. So like I told our kids after the game and everything, it was hard to talk to them afterwards, because just knowing that the kind of pressure that's been on our football team and the kind of pressure that's been on them as football players and the questions they've been getting, and having starters quit our football team because they don't think we're worthy enough to be a member of or whatever. They thought it wasn't worth their time being a part of. I really felt good for our players, for the kids who stuck around, and for the kids who still believed in our program and to believe in Charlton County football, to stick around and play a game like that. I was really real choked up at the end and couldn't hardly talk to them. But I mean, I was just really don't know if I've been more proud of a single team, single game performance as I was Friday night. Just the effort. The effort was there. The effort was nonstop. It was incredible. They scored. It seemed like when we scored, we had to really work to score. When they scored,
nice drive.
Yeah, when they scored, it seemed like it was just one play, flick the ball down the field, a completion, touchdown. So we had to really work for everything we got. We did have some long drives. We put together some first downs, and a lot of that had to do with the offensive line and Tyree Savage running the ball hard, just really growing up and taking the football and sticking it in there and running it as hard as he could, which I'm really, really proud of him. Hopefully he could feed off that, and hopefully he continues to run like that, and maybe we can have some more success.
Yeah, that drive, toward the end of the third, going into the fourth quarter, chewed a lot of time off the clock going in for that final score.
It did, and plus we also, you might have noticed, we were using a lot of clock. I told the officials, I said, listen, you need to do a good job with the 25-second clock because we're going to use it. We're going to use as much of it as we can. We are no huddle, but still we can slow things down in no huddle.
Down a little bit, keep them off the field.
Exactly. We had momentum going our way. There was no sense to have a quick 3 and out. Defense played a lot of snaps. Our offense, we didn't have nearly the offensive plays that we've had in most games. Our defense was out there a long time. So I wanted to give them a chance to rest. But that last drive, the last drive of the game, for us to, we had to convert at least, I know, 1 4th down at midfield.
Right there at midfield.
Had to convert that to keep the drive going. Had to have 1, maybe 2 of our pass plays to convert first downs. We had to throw the ball on little play action passes and kept it going. Then we got down inside the 10. I believe there was a timeout. We may have taken it. They may have taken it. I'm not sure. But there was a timeout, and we a little bit when it comes to formations, drew it up in the dirt a little bit. That's not
backyard.
It's not something we went power eye. We went unbalanced. It's not something that we usually do. Gives our chance to take a pre-snap read and actually run both ways. But we pretty much told them on 4th down. We came out out of the halftime, lined up. The backfield was all set. The offensive line was unbalanced. And we told Tyree, said, listen, have great vision. If you can turn it up. But if not, you can always just run for the corner. All you got to do is touch the pylon and it's a score. And he did a great job running.
So that was his option there at the end?
Yeah, and he did a great job following his 2 lead backs, Drake Gillis and T.J. Wilson. And he did cut it up off of T.J.'s block in for the touchdown. Right at the end of the game, minute to go in the game, 4th and goal. Got it in for the winning points.
There.
Yeah,
that was
I'll tell you what, we had some empty seats, which I was disappointed in. Before the game, I usually don't look at the stands, but somebody brought it to my attention. I said, we got some fans dressed up as empty seats tonight, and I was a little disappointed in that. But then after when the game was over, really had a chance to kind of. Maybe the people will jump back on the bandwagon, and that's all right. I hope they do because these kids are giving great effort and they're working hard. It's the hardest working. It's the hardest working group of kids I've had. They're low maintenance when it comes to off-field stuff. No problems there, and they're working. They got good character team. They're a good character group of kids, and hopefully we can continue to play good football and like I said, we're also in control of our own destiny like Turner is. If we can win out, we're region champs, and I think it's been 09 since that's happened.
Well, that will be fantastic.
Yep.
You spoke about the fans, though. I think the fans are coming back. I think the Wilcox game opened some eyes.
Yep.
And I know on the website we have had hits all weekend long with the pictures and the videos, the highlights that we posted.
Yeah.
We can't release the game till Thursday. For Coach Mack,
yeah.
But I'm looking forward to releasing that thing. That thing's going to get a ton of hits.
It sure will.
And we'll be right back. We're going to take a break, and we're going to lead into Turner.
Good.
And we'll be right back after this message.
Radio Shack, located at 3885 Main Street, inside the Folkestone Pharmacy, is your local Verizon Wireless authorized agent and Dish Network retailer. Radio Shack carries a variety of computers, tablets, smartphones, and other electronics. The Shack in Folkestone is proud of our student athletes and wishes them the best of luck this season. Now, let's go get 'em Indians.
Hunters and outdoorsmen. With general gun season fast approaching, Gat Hardware and Hunting has everything you need to be ready for the hunt. From game blinds and ladder stands to guns and ammo, camo clothing to insect repellent. They'll get you ready for the woods. Do you have to finish that honey-do list first? Gat Hardware and Hunting has you covered there as well, with hardware supplies to knock out that honey-do list and get you hunting. Gat Hardware and Hunting on 3872 Main Street. They're open Monday through Saturday.
Babcock Wilcox, a manufacturer of air filtration devices located in Folkestone, Georgia since 1983, is proud to support the Charlton County athletic programs and the Band of Pride. The employees of B&W wish the Indians, Maidens, Braves, and Band of Pride good luck this season.
Okefenokee Rural Electric Membership Corporation offers more than dependable electrical energy at a competitive price. Quality service is provided by a friendly and professional staff trained to meet your every electrical power need, whether residential, commercial, or industrial. If you have any questions or need information, call us at 1-800-262-5131. Okefenokee REMC, owned by those we serve. A proud sponsor of this year's Indian football broadcast.
All right, welcome back to the Coach Mac Show. Now we're going to do what you told me earlier. You told your kids from this point on it's about Turner County, not about Wilcox. So I'm going to let you take off and run with it, Coach, because I'll be honest, I don't know anything about Turner County.
Well, like you said, everything from this point on to do with Charlton County football, it's all about Turner County right now. It's there's no looking back. We're going to load up and take that almost 2.5 hour bus ride over there to Ashburn and hopefully play some great football. They're a very, very good football team. They've and Coach Soliday is a great coach. He's done a great job. He's won state championships at Americas. Coach Soliday's had a young group over the last few years. They started a bunch of freshmen a few years ago. Now all those freshmen are now seniors. Those kids have started a lot of football games and been in a lot of big games. So they're 4-1 right now. They're 1-0 in the region. They beat Lanier County last week handily. Offensively, Coach Soliday has a son as starting quarterback, so you can say I guess he's been grooming him since birth, pretty much. Had his wife have a quarterback, so
they're pumped. They feel like it's their year with all that.
Exactly. I really do. I had a chance to see him in some track. They had a lot of kids out for track. They have some tall kids, some kids that can really, really run. Very athletic. A lot of good football played over on that part of I-75 over there, Tifton on west. Offensively, they're going to run the pistol for the most part. Now they will be in the gun. They'll do some things with their backfield. They have a tailback that has a lot of speed. They have one of the best fullback type kids I've seen in a while, number 44. The kid is just very, very physical blocker. And he's also a very good runner. Now the quarterback's what really makes it go. Soliday, he is a very, very accurate thrower, very good thrower, very good runner. He's a kid that can pre-snap read the defense, get to the open receiver. They've got a lot of yards up and down the field. They have a 6'3" wide receiver.
Another tall one.
Yeah, another tall one. He'll line up at tight end. He'll line up at split end, number 4. Again, they very explosive on the offensive side of the ball. They're real balanced in their run and their pass. Anytime you have a coach's kid at quarterback, you know that defensively it's going to be hard to fool them because if nothing else, the coach and the quarterback are going to be on the same page. They're going to be able to make adjustments. They're going to be able to make pre-snap reads and get the ball where it needs to be. Last week we really set up a lot for the defend the pass. This week it's still there, the pass. They have the ability to throw the ball as well as anybody, but they run the ball very, very well. So we have to be, our approach defensively has to be as balanced as their approach offensively. We can't be selling out on the pass like we did last week, or they'll run it. We sell too much on the run, they'll throw it. So we've got to really do a lot more this week as far as formation recognition, backfield recognition is going to be a big key for us. Our defensive coordinator, Coach Dick Russell's done an incredible job. He's very, very concerned with these guys. He says he's actually more concerned in prep for these guys than he is with Wilcox because Wilcox, we knew what we were going to get. Turner, like I said, they can go drive the field. They can drive the field running and then score at the end on the pass or vice versa. Throw it down the field, score at the end on the run. So, again, we're really concerned about that. I think defensively, they're very physical, very tough, especially inside. They have they line up in a 4-3. They'll line up in a 4-2, depending on the coverage they're trying to run. We've seen them give you different looks inside. It's really, you can call it a lot of different things. Sometimes they'll have 5 guys up there, but most time it's a 4-man look. The 2 inside guys are very tough, very physical, play low to the ground. which really is they get in your way in the running game. Defensive ends are athletic. The inside linebackers, I think, have a lot of playing experience, have been there a while, and I think that they're very good. They play really, really good, and they have very athletically in the secondary, play some press coverage and so forth. So we're concerned with this football team. I can't stress enough to our players that this team is good enough by far to beat us. I think they're as good as us, maybe better than us. We have got to show up to play. Last year we went over there. We got off to a slow start. We had to. It's one of those few times in my career that we didn't even make it back to the locker room. We bypassed the locker room and found a patch of grass in the back, and had to get their attention a little bit. But
woke them up.
Yeah, I kind of had to wake them up for the second half. So hopefully we go over there and just focused on Turner. And that's all this week. It's all about the Turner County Rebels, and we've got to get ourselves, over that. We've got, and sometimes it's just as hard to bounce back from a big win as it is from a big loss. A big loss, you got to bring your kids up. A big win, you got to get your kids back down and focused, and hopefully they will. Hopefully we can build off some success. Hopefully we'll go over there and really play fast, continue to play fast,
and get it
on a roll. But I'm telling you, Turner County is for real. Turner County is a great football team, got great players. Coach Soliday is an excellent coach. They got a really great place to play over there. It's going to be a great atmosphere. Hopefully we'll have a lot of fans show up. I think they have directions on your website.
Yes, it's going to go up this evening.
It's 4-lane the whole way.
4-lane the whole way. No excuses.
No excuses. I tell you, our kids need you over there. Our band's terrific. I understand they're putting on great shows. Cheerleaders doing a great job and everything, being loud like they do and what have you. But we hopefully have a big crowd over there, support our kids, and hopefully we get off to a fast start and play hard and hopefully have some great results and keep the season going in a great positive direction.
Yeah, it's been positive, especially coming off that last win. And you spoke with the band about the band and the cheerleaders and everything. Sometimes I think Chris and I could open up our own band channel.
Yeah,
they get more support than anything I've ever.
And they deserve it.
With the band.
I tell you, they deserve it. They're a great group. I really admire Mr. Hersey, the job he does. When I first got here, as a football coach, sometimes you have this built-in defense mechanism against the band or whatever, football. But I never understood that. I really didn't. The first day I met Dr. He was just Mr. Laracy, or John Laracy back then, but now he's Dr. Laracy now. But Dr. Laracy, when I got here, he did an incredible job. What a great program he had, and then he turned it over to Kurt Hersey, and he's just taken it and kept it on going. But when I first got here, I said, you know what? I want a football team like our band. I want a bunch of kids that are as committed like our band kids are committed. And really, I looked at their program, and I saw there's a lot of similarities in the way a football program's ran and the way they run their band program, and they do an awesome. Exactly, and the practice, the commitment, and the support you get from the community. I'm proud of those guys. I'm proud of those of our band, and I just enjoy going to an away game and see our crowd bring in more fans than they have. I enjoy to see our big band are loud and they're behind the football team and everything. And then our cheerleaders, the job that they do, the time they put in for the run-through sign, and they're really their support throughout the week, putting signs around the halls.
I've actually thought about that sign. The work they must put into that thing.
They really do. You see a lot of football programs or a lot of cheerleading programs that will just buy the pre-made one and already that has the Velcro down the middle, which they look nice, but they just unroll that every week. Our kids that are in our cheerleaders, they really put a lot of thought into it and put a lot of time into it and a lot of effort into it. And of course, I know a little bit about it. My daughter's one of them. Yeah. So I see the work and the time that they all put in. Of course, Gretchen Workentine does a great job with those girls, and Courtney Lipson doing the organizational part of it. She does an awesome job with them, so I'm really proud of the job they do. But no, I tell you what, I'm a football coach, maybe unlike some, unfortunately, but I'm a football coach where I'm proud of our band and I support them, and I can't be more excited when we pull into Folkestone and you see all them school buses back behind us with the band loaded up. When they get out and make that noise and do the great job they do, it's really it's a sense of pride for our community. So our community has a lot to be proud of. The band, the cheerleaders, the football program, and even the other sports. Softball was very young this year. Had a great team. Coach Mike Baxter does an awesome job coaching them, and you talk about a committed man to his.
He is.
He puts the time in with these kids, and I'm really proud of the job that they've done also.
All right. Well, with that, we're going to end it. Want a huge crowd following the football team over to Turner County Friday night, and we'll have directions. I'll put them, which this show will post tomorrow, I guess. And but I'll have directions up on the website.
That'd be great.
Appreciate y'all watching the Coach Mac Show.